Let me make sure the Discord is actually picking up.
In fact, I'll actually increase the fidelity for you a little bit.
Hwah! Hello, everybody! This jump scare brought to you by Seratamon.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
And the jump scare is not brought to you by Seratamon. It's brought to you by Android Usagi, your favorite superhero.
Oh man, one day I'm gonna pay the both of you to do freaking voice lines for my channel. Hi everybody.
We use some form of art trade.
Bet. Bet. Hi everybody, my name is Android Usagi. I have not actually pinged anybody that we are live yet, so I'm a little bit ahead. But hi, welcome to Comic Book Club. This is the club where we read a graphic novel a month and then we talk about it.
Yeah.
Today we have two very special guests. You guys want to introduce yourselves while I ping everybody?
No.
Oh, okay. You don't have to.
Hi.
No.
Hi, I'm Grant Might Be Me.
Oh, no! Grant, did you look at the ending again?
I just got there.
Oh, God.
I'd already read this, but it's been a while since I'd actually. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could also hit you with I have something in my eye, and then I got sweat in my eye.
That's a beautiful day for rain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Usagi, what's your favorite color?
Oh. It's blue now.
As we noticed yesterday.
Oh, man.
All right.
I do actually have something in my eye. Shit. Hold on.
Wow, you're so professional.
Apollo and the Gift of Prophecy. Have you seen the dodgeball meme? That's my favorite meme. It's the Gift of Prophecy is lovingly referred to as Apollo's dodgeball on Tumblr. And it's so you'll see like the statue of Apollo with a dodgeball in its hand, like the marble famous statue. And just laser eyes. It's so good. It's so good. So we have Grant Might Be Me today with us. He's back. He's not dead yet. Oof. This book killed my feelings. Seratamon is also here today. If you don't follow them, please do. They're beautiful people. We love them. They're good friends of the channel and of me. So, I want to get started with discussing this writer. Let's start with discussing overall thoughts. What did you guys think about this book? Grant was the one who recommended this as a precursor. So let's start with Seratamon.
I mean, I was a big fan of it. I like exosuits.
I mean, yeah, robots are obviously cool. Clearly.
I love exosuits, and I'm also just a sucker for that kind of loop situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and premise and say that I don't know if we can talk about this in book at all without talking spoilers. So if you haven't read All You Need Is Kill and you're interested in reading All You Need Is Kill, just stop now. Turn back. Come back to the video when you have read the book.
Volumes?
We read the so it's actually originally a novel. But we read the graphic novel version. So
it's just one thing.
Yeah, it was originally produced as 2 volumes, but it is one complete story, and I must put the caveat that this month's book was supposed to just be the first volume, and I couldn't put it down. That's about how I felt about it. I could not put this down. I had to
Yeah,
read the
we
second
all
one.
kept reading it.
I
Yeah.
managed to read the whole thing. Full honesty, I didn't get past the first page until today, and I read the entire thing in 1 hour 6 minutes.
Oh my god. It's honestly though, it's amazing. It's a great story. Uh, let's see. This author.
But I had a joke that I didn't want to interrupt you with.
Oh yeah, go off.
Just after you've read the book, be sure to loop back
Oh
to
god.
this here stream.
Oh,
That's our thoughts.
please don't. No. There's enough blood on her hands. Okay. So for those of you that are interested in this book, this is a Japanese science fiction by Hiroshi Sakurazaka. The illustrations are done by Yoshitoshi Abe. This is one of the few manga that is written and drawn by two different people. That's not really super duper common. If you had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate it?
Are you okay with partials?
Yeah.
Then for me, it gets about somewhere between 4.5 to like 4.25.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No, I'll bump it to 4.5 to 4.75.
I'd say a solid 4.5.
I'd say a solid 4.6, actually.
So you and I are kind of on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all roughly on the same page. Phenomenal book, heart-wrenching. Amazing characters. The artist for this, Takeshi, oh, it's a different artist. Takeshi Obata is also the artist for, I believe, Death Note.
One of the people involved was also from Death Note.
Yeah. Yeah, Takeshi Obata was the mangaka for Death Note. Which I guess
Same art.
yep,
Art.
same art.
And it shows in a few scenes.
Yeah. All right. Oh gosh, it's been quite a day. I am having, let's see. Okay. So, what's up? What you
I
got?
wanted to jump in and say I actually think, and I'm certain, I'd have to actually read the novelization
Mhm.
itself, but I'll never have the ability to read the novelization first. I do feel that if it was just the novelization, I might rank this a bit higher. Slightly.
Okay. What
I
as somebody who's read both, uh what would be your comparison? Like, what are your notes from the two of them?
It has nothing to do with the writing at this point. It's because we are getting the art in this, specifically when they are doing the intense, like, movement in the battle scenes.
Mhm.
It is sometimes hard to tell what's exactly happening.
Yeah,
I get it.
I
This
got a lot of that too.
Mhm.
there's a lot that's supposed to be happening, and we're made to feel that this is happening very fast and repetitive, so there's not a lot of time for, just like with the characters, they don't really get to enjoy a specific loop. This
Right.
is all, we're doing the exact same thing over and over again, and therefore it almost runs together, and they're running the motions, and they're breaking down each individual second. So it's kind of meant to be outside of that perspective to, oh, we don't really know what's happening here. It's supposed to be a craze, like the background characters who are just seeing this happen go, "What the fuck is that, Keiji?"
Yeah. So do you recommend the manga over the novelization or the light novel?
I'd have to read the novel itself without the imagery to see if it gives me this is only a theory.
A game theory. I'm sorry.
God.
A comic theory. Thanks for watching.
If I really was able to do 100% what is in my own head visualizing what's happening, I feel like I would have gotten a slightly better experience. Because there will be pages of this where it's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. Are they a tornado now? What's happening?
Yeah. But I loved that though. That was so I know for me it felt like we were part of the squad in that moment. Just watching this absolute flurry of insanity happening. Hi, Curbside. Welcome. We are discussing All You Need Is Kill. But yeah, that specific art direction I really enjoyed was definitely confusing at times, but I think that made the looping feel realistic. Like it was hard for me to parse through.
I can see that.
Kind of the give and the take, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
for having it like this. There's definitely like, ooh, I can really get immersed in what I'm like. I see their faces, I'm seeing their emotions, which
Right.
you can really tell that when they're getting like jaded and desensitized, I suppose, to the violence of it.
It's funny. Because the artist is the same one that did Death Note. As I was reading this and like thinking over, like, man, this art is so cool. Why have I never seen this artist before? I hit that point where Keiji, the main character, was just like absolutely done with life, and he looked just like L from Death Note, just with the like. I was like, oh, that's just L. Oh, never mind.
Absolutely.
So like, who was out of these complex characters? Like, who was your favorite?
Hmm.
Saratamon, do you have an answer? I guess a better question would be, what's your favorite color?
How fucking dare you?
uh
The obvious answer's red.
I mean, yeah,
The
clearly.
obvious answer is the mechanic side character.
Honestly though, underrated.
She was great.
Oof, Homie Eddie. I don't know if you read this book. Eddie just commented blue for the win.
Ooh.
Oh, that's very significant to the story.
Also very significant for Eddie. Eddie, have you been arrested recently?
Oh man, Eddie gets cops showing up to his house for no reason all the time. Ugh.
I have some negatives I want to throw out, and I'm going to throw out this is negatives from the fact that this is like just more the style of where these kinds of novels come from.
Mm-hmm.
It is jarring that everyone is cute girls.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely something I don't know if I've become desensitized to that over the years.
I feel like I probably have.
Because that's in a lot of media.
It's everywhere.
But yeah, all of the women in this were definitely just cute and small. Also, can we talk about oh god, what's her name? I'm bad with names. I'm so sorry.
Are you talking? So there's the mechanic girl? Are you talking the cook lady?
No, it's Rita. Can we talk
Rita,
about
Sabrina
Rita's?
Lebowski.
Yes, I can't remember names. I literally had to pull this up. So Rita is an undetermined age. She definitely lied about her age to get into the military.
Yes.
So she was 15 when she joined the military.
Okay. And that was years
'Cause
ago.
it specifically said she stole the identification of someone 3 years older than her in order to do that. Well, so at least she was under 18 and claims to be 3 years older. So at least 15,
Okay.
at most 17, 15 to 17.
All right. Well. All right then. Commentary retracted.
There is when is it? There's a moment actually where he says what age she supposedly is.
22.
Okay, thank you. So she's probably 20,
Okay.
19 or 20 at
Okay.
this point.
So they're roughly the same age.
It's also just the kind of the world building thing of the enemies in this, the aliens, the mimics, have been going like country to country. They have been pushing across the world from west to east. That's just kind of what's been happening. When Rita first joins the conflict, they've gone from Hawaii to mainland United States, and we have now had a progressive jump in time because this war's been going on for years.
Right.
As Keiji was a boy when it first started, and now he is an adult in the military when it's his turn to jump in. Those have been going on a while. It's, I guess now that I'm actually sitting and thinking about it now, like right now, it is a little bizarre how long the war's been going on, given the ability that she has. And I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, the ability she has and the ability the enemy has.
Right.
I do think the movie handles that a bit better, but we'll get to that later.
So the characters in this story, they face a lot of growth through hardship and
We gain another.
Jellyfin! What's up, dude?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
The Eve?
No, not the Eve.
But I am here. I
Is-
am late, but I am here.
Hey, we're happy to have you here, man. We were just talking about our favorite characters. And
Okay.
you know the artist for this book? By the way, all of us here read Well Beyond Volume 1. We read the whole thing because we were hooked.
Okay.
Did you finish
I
it?
did not. Although
Okay.
I finished Volume 1.
Okay.
And I thought it was very good. And I will definitely be reading the rest, but I told you on Wednesday that I hadn't even read it yet. I
Yeah.
got the chance like earlier today to finish Volume 1, so it was less of a I didn't like it thing and more of a I had time to finish this volume and that's it. And I will finish the rest on my own time.
Totally fair.
Okay, question. We should probably be a little careful on spoilers then.
Yes, absolutely.
I need to also figure what is the split here between volume 1 and 2. Is the last page that you got to where he gets to loop 5, or were
So I can
that
tell.
question?
Rita asks that question on the last page of Volume 1.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, I was
try to
about
keep
to
my
say, I'm not
spoilers
sure
for
I can
stuff.
answer that question because I don't entirely. I read it on the Viz Media app thing. And it
Yeah.
was split by chapters, not by volumes. And I was like, I don't remember where it said end of volume 1 or not. So I did not know how to answer that. But
You're
you
good.
answered it for me. Thank you. Or
You're
they,
good.
I'm not sure.
What is the last thing that you got to?
yeah.
Joey?
We might have lost him.
Oh, we've lost it, Joey. We'll save it.
Not
next
another one.
No.
Oh.
um.
All right. What was the last question you were asking there?
Oh, I was Okay, I actually wanted to derail from my question because I had a thought in the middle of asking my question about the mimics.
Yeah.
I freaking love how they are presented. It's horrifying how they're presented. Like they're just there. And we're like, we don't know anything about them. Well, this war's been going on for years. Yep. We don't know Jack.
Yep.
The only
That's
reason
great.
Why are they called mimics?
no idea.
I can tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They are mimics because, from the perspective of fighting them, they are able to mimic and counter anything you throw at them.
Oh.
Oh,
That
okay, and I understand why.
that makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
When you are in the loop, no, not really as much. I mean, they'll make notice of, oh, okay, this loop they brought more guys, or they're reacting a little differently now. But to anyone who's not in the loop, this is one battle,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and that is horrifying.
Yeah. That's the scariest part. Just God. I mean, could you imagine you wake up and your buddy's like, it's Groundhog Day. And you're like, what? Nah, dude. And then he just whips out the most badass fight moves you've ever seen.
Here's another thing you can consider. How many loops happened before the first loop?
I don't want to think about it too much.
Oh, God. Holy shit. Because we have no idea. Before KG.
Also, yeah, and because here's the thing as well. They keep referring to the 20mm gun as ineffective, but we see it effectively used at moments.
Yeah.
Which tells me that it's only after they know that they're going to get shot that it isn't effective because they move to a position where it won't hurt them.
Exactly. Oh, my God. Horrifying.
Counterpoint, I also think it's more of a they can be effective with amount of fire and fields of fire at that point.
Hmm.
Not
Chip
even that.
damage
There's
versus-
there's a few moments where you see just a couple shots from it take one out.
Oof.
I do think the 20mm is ineffective comes more from originally from Rita. And this is actually a point
could
that I'll
be.
make from after we watch the movie because I can't really make it now. The 20mm is ineffective for her the exact way we see KG go like, all right, this spike thing, I get 20 rounds tops. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I know that, but there's an armorer that's going over their equipment and says this is the 20mm. It's not incredibly effective. The only thing that's actually effective is the spear, whatever.
I think it's called like the pile spike.
Yeah. Pile spike.
Probably it's directly taken from EDF. I don't know
So
if there's another media that used that before
I don't know.
EDF.
So I'm looking over some questions for a sci-fi book, and a lot of these are, oh, is the future that they created like plausible? I don't know so much about mimics, but I would kill for a jacket. I would kill for a
I would love a
full. Jackets are the mech suits of this world, and I would freaking kill for one. I swear. They are the coolest things ever.
This design of like an exosuit reminds me of the same kind of design that Starship Troopers, not the movie version, but Starship Troopers, the book, and then the really poorly animated show had.
I wonder if that was on purpose. Let me look up real quick when the manga came out.
What is the?
Okay, so
I'm trying to remember because there's a specific name they have for those exosuits in Starship Troopers, and it's absolutely pulling from that design. It's 100%.
this came out in 2004. This manga was first published in November 4th, 2004. The book.
And Earth Defense Force came out in 2003.
What do you know?
With the Fencer, which was a mech suit that fought giant bugs with blast hole spears.
Okay, so interesting. The light novel, the one that I thought was, oh, hey, this was a novel first. I was wrong. Yeah, so I looked up the dates. All You Need Is Kill came out November 4th, 2004. The light novel came out December 18th, 2004. Okay. I did have a question, as this is a graphic novel with a different writer than artist. How do you think how was the synergy? Do you think that the writer did a good job on telling the artists, or the artist did a good job on telling the writer's story? What do you think needs improvements?
So we are supposed to be led to believe from the wording here, especially as we get like into the later end of this, their movements are supposed to look inhuman and impossible.
Right.
As how is Rita able to wield that big ass axe that's bigger than her? Perfectly timed inertia movement bullshit. Which honestly is, I like it. That's the kind of silly that I can get into.
No, I'm a fan of that.
I'm gonna say good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So passable, serviceable.
The kind of serviceable where I don't know what could be serviced.
Mm.
I cut you off, sorry, buddy.
Oh, no worries. I was just going to say, it's definitely a time where, like you said earlier, the movements being impossible to understand in the pictures does fit with them moving like impossibly fast or in inhuman ways.
Right.
But it also leads to spending a lot of time pausing on those moments trying to interpret what's going on.
I think that's the beauty of it being a graphic novel, being a manga. I think you're supposed to stare at it for a long time going, what the hell am I looking at? Because if you speed read it and you go, what the hell am I looking at? Like I did, you come into this idea of, I have no fucking idea what's happening. Oh wait, the soldiers have no idea what's happening. Neat. I'm viewing this from their perspective. Or even just the artist being like, I don't know how to draw this, so I'm just gonna do like this. Which, if I were to give it improvement points, I would say they could probably take some cues from Western media tends to do this thing where the script is written out and it goes to the artist, and the artist says, I could do this, I think we should change this. And it goes back and forth like that a couple of times. And so it really does become, if it's done correctly, it becomes a story that everybody involved is telling because they add their own little flair to it.
Mm.
I think that started to show through on the art sometimes.
Hey,
We have Joey
Hello.
back.
Android. I threw some images in the comic talk.
You're
What, are
very.
accurate?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're very quiet, Joey fan. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Okay. I
Oh.
don't know how to make it better. Sorry.
Oh, you're
Oh
good.
yeah, I was gonna throw in some of
on the
those
road
images.
for some reason,
Because
and I think I cut out on
Yes.
the highway
You're good.
or something. I don't know. Either way, I pulled over the shady parking lot because I'm like, I need to talk about this book. Okay, so I'm back.
Okay.
I thought someone was about to ask me a question before I left.
What chapter
I
did you
I
get
couldn't hear.
to?
or like, what was the last thing you remember?
I don't know the chapter. I do remember what's his name? Is it Kaiji? I think his
Keiji.
name was Keiji. Okay. He was back on the battlefield and he'd recognized the mimic from I don't remember what chapter it was. Pretty much the first one he encountered, and he was about to show him what he learned. And then Rita reappeared or whatever, and she asked at the very end of the chapter, how many loops has this been now?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's the proper
That
end
is
to
the
it.
end of volume 1.
Oh, okay. Is it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright.
So we're going to silence some spoiler talk for the latter half, because honestly, we can talk about most of the stuff in it with
Without.
the content in the first volume.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The meat of the book, at least the world building, which is most of what we've been talking about so far, was in that first chapter. Speaking of, I did want to extend that question to you. How, because this is a manga that is written by one person and drawn by another, how do you feel about the synergy of storytelling here?
It was seamless, honestly. Like, it was fantastic. I didn't see any discrepancies. If you would have told me the same person that drew it had written it, I would not have known any difference. Maybe if there is a difference there, I didn't see it because usually my manga, they're usually done by the same person, so I didn't know.
What if I were to tell you that this is the same artist that wrote Death Note?
What? Okay.
I'm
that's
sorry,
pretty
wrote
cool.
or drew?
Wrote Andrew.
I figured it's because most manga is one and the same. There's a at least that I've come across. Usually it's the same writer and artist.
Yeah.
But I would not have guessed that. Maybe the fact that Keiji looks a little bit like L, but that's about it.
Oh, god damn it. Was I wrong? I think I was wrong. I think he just drew it. God damn it.
Oh,
I
really?
gotta start fact checking myself before I open my damn mouth. Good God. So
all good.
it's the same artist though.
Okay, so that's why it looks like L then. Cool. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool factoid there.
Yeah. Okay. So up until the point where she asks Keiji, how many loops has it been?
Mhm.
What, like, were there any specific lessons you were like pulling from this book? Did you find it like inspiring or motivating at all? Or was it the opposite for you? Was it just like, oh god, this is a slog, you know?
Not necessarily a schlag, but it kind of went along with that idea I already get of the military, I suppose. I'm where I something about like boots on ground warfare is always just an awful concept for me to read. Like I don't really like reading that stuff. But for some reason with this book, I guess because it added that sci-fi-ish element of the mimics to it, I could table stuff uh like brawls in the mess hall, like which happened just a chapter or two after. I could table it very well, and it just felt like down to earth, I guess, and it was kind of a bummer to read about, especially when you see some of these death scenes in this. I'm like, dear lord.
They're so
Um,
brutal.
I know. I'm like,
Mhm.
ugh. So it does put mortality into place. Like when you see kind of gore like that, it's just it just gave me like it reinforced my vision of the military. I guess maybe it's a wayward one because I obviously haven't been in the military before, but maybe it's kind of an allegory for that in a way. I don't know.
I could see that. What about you guys, Grant and Sarodamon?
Radamon, you go first on this because I will end up. I do have a bit of a rant here.
Joey fan, this is like Grant's 4th time reading this book or something.
I got you. Yeah.
Sorry, which aspect of it is it we're going over for this?
We're talking about hold on, so was there like a message or a lesson in this book? Did you find it inspiring or motivating, or was it the opposite? Like,
if I don't really know if I'd really say inspiring for it.
Mm-hmm.
It, especially after reading the full thing.
Oh.
But it's not, and it's kind of really just a story about. I'm trying to think of how to do it without going into any spoilers for the 2nd volume.
You
know?
I can leave temporarily.
No,
I don't know how to-
no. You're good.
No. You're
You're
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I get
just
what
didn't
you're.
have time to get around to the full thing. But...
Dude, you're good. I was reading it the other night and I was texting Saradamon and I was like, yeah, I'm stopping, I feel pretty good. And Saradamon was like, well, I'm still reading. Have you gotten to this chapter yet? And I was like, well, damn it. And then I read faster than him and
And he came across tears and
yeah, the ending was beautiful. That's all I will say. The first volume to me felt like it was just discussing the futility of the war more than anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know if that was meant as a commentary because you were
worded it way better than I was trying to say. Yeah.
well, you were saying like, oh yeah, it's kind of like this boots on the ground military stuff that I don't normally read, and I'm in the same boat. I don't like that stuff. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't think the author is either. And
Right.
No, absolutely not.
like,
That's
if
exactly what I was trying to get at with the whole like gore thing by showing, I guess, like all these abysmal scenes of war. I had the exact same idea you did. I just didn't know how to word that when I was saying it earlier. Like, it's clear that the author, and I'm not sure if, like you said, if that was intentional to make us kind of feel that like war is bad kind of general theme, or like this is what war really looks like.
by the end of volume 1, KG was sitting there like first thing in the morning in his bunk with a cigar going, war never changes, and his bunkmates are like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
I hard disagree with that statement, and that's where I can get into my rant.
All right, go. Let's see.
Ooh,
No, I didn't really get inspired from this. I don't think that KG is a good main character.
Ooh, so you
I
think
don't.
you think he's kind of a bad guy then?
Not a. Okay, hear me out. He is like maybe early 20s. He's young, fresh into the military.
Right?
By loop 5, he Aaron Yeagers.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's
Okay, I
goes off the deep end.
okay, thank you.
yeah,
Fucking loses it. I'm gonna kill them all. Like, dude, you can go back in time. Do some fun shit first. Come on. We don't really get like a good backstory as to like he's doing this. Why does he have that motivation?
Why does he care?
Because I guess he got to play games as a kid where he was the one that ran out first and got shot and inspired other kids. That's a stupid backstory for that.
It is kind of. Yeah.
That's
He's
fair.
not relatable.
I mean, he
doesn't-
also has such main character mentality to it, because his first thought is, "I'm the only one that can do this." Instead of trying to find ways to like improve technology or strategy for other people, he's just like, "I'm the only line of defense for humanity."
Speaking
He
of,
doesn't even tell anyone. Like, wouldn't you think, like, oh fuck, I could tell somebody, I could do something. No, he goes rogue, and it's like, it's me against the world.
speaking of, I'm gonna have to talk to you guys later about a specific thing that happens in volume 2 that made me so angry. It made me so angry. Because I do agree he's not a good main character, but I do enjoy the idea of him, like, this no backstory having ass just being like, yeah, war's fucking awful. Everybody's like, why do you say this? You literally have no reason to say this, you little edgy what?
He also doesn't do the war is awful. He goes the exact opposite. This is not really a spoiler, but it is
are
from
you gonna say
volume 2.
The line the line where he mimics a line that she has said before?
Yes.
Yeah.
This battle doesn't need me. I need this battle.
No,
Kill the
someone
fuck
someone tells him, "Hey, this battle doesn't need you." He goes, "No, but I need this battle." It's like, oh god.
Shut the fuck up, man.
For real. Oh, man.
I also don't really buy how quickly he's meant to have like gone from I'm just a dude to I'm a demigod.
Well, I mean, he lived the same day for like almost a year, if not.
159 times.
Yeah. That's a good chunk.
It
Sure.
is. We know what Rita's number is at that. Well, we know what Rita's number was at a certain thresholds in volume 2, though, and it feels like he is progressing too quickly.
Yep.
That's fair.
She's been doing this for a while.
Uh-huh.
So through volume 1, I'm going to answer this as I ask it. How did the author surprise you or interest you through the story? And I was like invested up until the part where Rita was like, "Oh, so how many loops is this for you?" And I was like, "What?" Like, I saw it coming, but at the same time, like, just how casually she's like, "Oh, you're looping too. Neat. How many?" And I was like, I have to read more. What the hell?
Should we talk about our theory?
Yes!
I want to hear this.
So Saratamon and I both had different theories. Joey, did you have any theories going through this?
Yeah, I want to hear what you expect in the volume 2, since you've only done volume 1.
Yeah.
You were probably the most exciting input here for me.
Okay, so I will preface this by saying I've seen Edge of Tomorrow, so I feel like I kind of ruined it for myself because I've started reading this and I'm trying to compare it to the movie, if that makes sense.
I would try not to. I've been trying to avoid it. These two haven't seen
Uh-huh.
it, and I'm dragging them into watching it with me.
It's true.
Okay. I will say that. Never mind. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
I forget that y'all haven't watched it, so
It's-
I'm not gonna say anything.
I will
But
say
I am curious to see if it follows the same way that the movie does.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, now I can't. I can't say I have any expectations. I just want to go in blind and try to see how awesome it is. Then.
That is the only thing I'm going to say.
Is no, it's
Okay.
not the same. So do they adapt it? And I guess we'll watch the movie afterwards, anyways. But do they adapt it for?
So excited.
Speaking of, if you guys are in my Discord, we're gonna watch a movie after this, so we'll be in general chats shortly after if you guys want to watch the movie that is based off of this comic book. Starring Tom Cruise. No.
This is actually
No,
Edge
it
of Tomorrow
does.
is on
Is it
my
really?
top 10 list of movies. And
Really?
I actually yeah. I saw it
Wow.
first before reading the book. I saw the movie, looked it up, I'm like, there's got to be more like this. Found the novel or the manga. I bought it and read that thing like twice through. I'm like, wow, that's different. But
Oh, okay.
I
I'm curious if you don't mind,
Yeah.
because I'm probably not going to get the chance to talk to anyone individually about this book again now that this is the book of the month thing.
no fuck
Which
you. I'll
one
talk to you
did you
about it.
prefer? Because um, if
Honestly, same.
since you said the movie is one of your favorites of all time, and you love this too, which one which one did you prefer? And I'm gonna make my own. I'm just curious to see someone else's input so I can see what they think later. And I'm definitely gonna draw my own conclusions. I'm curious, which one did you personally prefer?
That's a very good question, and actually one that I've grappled with myself for a while. The best answer I can give is they are different enough that I can put them both very high in their own categories. But
Got you. Okay,
I
that's a safe
would,
answer. I don't mind that.
for reconsumption, I prefer Edge of Tomorrow. I
Mm.
do
Okay.
not feel like the reread of All You Need Is Kill hits as hard the more you reread it. Like, you know what's happening, you're expecting things to
Sure.
come, it still hits you, the emotional parts, and you're not at certain things, so I'm not really going to go into that.
Right.
But
Okay.
there are parts of All You Need Is Kill that almost take me out of the experience.
Interesting.
And
Gotcha. It was the protagonist one of those things, because the protagonists are very different, I would say,
oh
between the
my
movie and the book.
fuck, yes they are. I I prefer the original Rita to movie Rita. And
Okay.
I
I
prefer
100% agree with you. Yeah. She was
movie
my favorite character here. Yeah.
movie KG or Cage, which is why we know it's supposed to be pronounced KG, is that's the direct tie with the movie character.
Gotcha.
Is actually seems like a person.
Right. Okay.
Which is when we were talking earlier about favorite characters, my favorite isn't actually either of the main two. I really like the Sarge, and I really
Sarge is
like
cool.
Yeah.
character who is very important to Rita's backstory, who I won't talk about until you
Oh,
finish
yeah.
Volume 2.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, I will say, because I had semi spoiled it for myself by watching the movie first. When I saw the difference in character between Rita, she immediately became my favorite in this book, because it feels like the protagonist was trying to do what Rita has been doing effortlessly the entire book, which is just being like kind of the loner badass, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
she does it effortlessly in the book, and I appreciate that. And maybe it has to do with the narration of having KG in his head and seeing how edgy and just kind of generic manga protagonist he is, that I'm like, dude, you're trying too hard, and I don't like I'm not one to give Tom Cruise credit for much stuff, but he did a much better job than you,
Yes.
right? All right, so yeah.
I'm 100% behind you on that. I wish
Okay.
I liked KG more.
Right.
There are also other characters in this that almost just we don't get screen time with them, so they're not
Right.
really like real people.
Right.
They're just kind of there. Um, I y'all brought up Mechanic Girl. I don't. She's not believable to me.
I just enjoyed her. I feel like, and I hear you on the unbelievability. I really do. I felt like with KG's nonsense, she was such a breath of fresh air. Like, just absolutely stole the show when she walked in. She does suffer from, we were talking about earlier, all of the women are small and very cute. But otherwise, I really enjoyed her. Dropped something. I dropped my fidget, sorry. Yeah, I really enjoyed her for, like, that outside, like, oh, here's somebody who hasn't seen the battle and is just working behind the scenes. I don't know. It might have
Cute.
it might have been that I read it too fast also.
There's
Okay.
a point where, and this is a very small nitpick, KG goes to her and is like, I need a weapon. And she's like, no! And then he's like, yes. And then she's like, okay, fine. A weapon. He's like, I want a spear, a cutlass. And I was really fucking hoping, like, come on, man, give me a
I was so hopeful for any other weapon.
Honestly, though.
battle axe. Oh.
Honestly, though, like. Okay, I do want to talk about my nitpick from the end of the book. So, Joey fan, if you do not want to be spoiled.
I was about to. I was gonna give not my closing thoughts. I had
Yeah.
one more thing I wanted to bring up that I prefer about the manga too, and I think we've already mentioned it before. Is the focus on it's not just two characters. I'm not sure if I prefer it, and I'll talk about why just briefly, and then I'll give my closing thoughts on Volume 1.
Okay.
Okay, so before I head out, because I still, like I said, I'm in a shady parking lot right now.
Yeah, we
I'm
want to
getting
make sure
home.
you get
It's
safe.
9 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. The difference, I think I liked the characterization of having more than just Rita and Keiji in the book. I like it, maybe it's just a thing for me in anime, but when I see like a collective team effort, and when it comes to the first thing that comes to mind for me was Gundam. I watched this show called Iron Blooded Orphans about these like ragtag orphans on Mars and how they grow into more of like a gang by the end of the thing, and it's like a moral kind of gray area as to what they become. It is so cool to me to see all the different little characters and you get attached to each different one, and I love that about the book. I think that's great. And then I'm inclined to say I prefer that to the movie where it's basically the two characters. What's her name? I forget her. She's a great actress. I don't know why I can't remember her name. But then also Tom Cruise are kind of like the main focus of the story. There's nobody else in the movie that's super important. And I think
Finish your thought,
hold up.
but I will challenge you on it.
Okay, all right. Are they? They
Uh-oh.
look super different, so I couldn't remember.
Did you lose?
Which, by the way, I
All of
freaking
the
love
stream internet.
flailing-
Oh,
I
no.
know
You're
you
back
guys-
up. You're
We're-
back up.
we're
dude,
back
I
up.
love the flailing freaking like octopus thing. I don't want to say any more about the movie, but if that's what they were called, then yes, I did prefer that. It seemed more futile there, and it's like I'm clashing with, do I like the characterization of the rest of the characters or do I like the focus on the two? And I want to hear your reprise to that. You said you were about to contest that.
Yes, I don't want to speak to it too much, but I will disagree.
Oh yeah, they haven't seen it. Okay.
You're good.
On the ensemble cast, because there
Okay.
are a handful of characters that they have development not so much in themselves, because for them this is the same fucking day and a half, I suppose. But it's like their development in the relationship that and respect that our main character in the movie is able to gain. I have seen that movie a good 20 times, so I will defend it with my life.
Okay, that's
It
fair. I've seen it
absolutely-
twice, so yeah, you've
I have
got a lot
seen-
more. Out of
I have seen a YouTube short on it.
it. Okay.
I know Tom Cruise is in it.
The actress's name is Emily Blunt.
Oh, I love
Yes,
her.
Okay. Yes, she is very
And-
good. I don't know why I couldn't remember it.
Check the text chat for Comic Club, because as soon as we brought it up, I went flipping through the book for the exact panel that is like, oh my god, that's fucking Light Yagami.
Oh, did you post it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yep, that is Light fucking Yagami.
Yeah! Yeah!
Ah.
Also, you shared some pictures in chat of different mech suits.
Yes. Those are all the designs from, well, those are taken from Starship Troopers, the book. There
Okay.
were animated movies in the Starship Troopers universe. Are you able to, like, throw those up on...
On stream?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
but
that
it's
be
gonna
too
be a
difficult?
little janky. Hold on.
And you can 100% see the design influence, especially in that first image, I'd say.
Hang on. Let's see if OBS will work with me. Come on, OBS.
Starship Troopers is another thing that I will absolutely just go on fixing.
Yo, imagine a time loop story in Starship Troopers.
Good God.
Oh.
Good God.
What was I gonna say?
By the way,
Two
do you
things-
have Starship
go ahead,
Troopers
go ahead.
Extermination, Grant?
The game? No, I never
Yeah.
got it, but I can. I've thought about it. I didn't want to buy it until I'm like I can play with people, because that doesn't seem like something I would ever play alone.
Me and Unseen have it, though there is a different game I'd prefer you to buy before buying that.
Did y'all see
Okay, what's the talk?
Helldivers 2? It looks a lot like Starship Troopers. It looks in the exact same vein. Like I was thinking about picking that up because it looks so good.
Hmm.
If y'all haven't seen the trailers or gameplay for that, I highly recommend it if you like Starship Troopers.
I have not, but now I'm curious. Okay, I cannot because OBS is being a butt.
I don't want to break your stream. Don't worry about it.
So, if you would like to see them, I'll be posting them, or we'll be posting them in general, shortly. So,
Oh, speaking of influence, so I know the movie is based on the manga. Isn't the manga? I think I saw briefly online before I looked this up. Isn't it based on a light novel?
no, actually, we just looked this up. The manga
Okay.
technically came first,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah, I did not know that. Okay, I thought I had read that earlier, and I'm like, oh shoot, I kind of want to read that now to see how that compares and how the manga pulled from that. But if the manga came first, then I'm kind of less interested in the light novel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm trying to get home, so let me just give my closing
Go for
thoughts
it.
here, and y'all can watch your movie and further delve into Volume 2, I guess, talking about Volume 2. Volume 1, super cool, high adrenaline. I didn't like the protagonist super much. I did like Rita effortlessly. I liked the characterization of the cast, I guess, the whole military. The mimic design, because I watched the movie, maybe it was just seeing them brought to life. I also liked the loose tendrils thing a lot better than just the spiky orb. But overall, regardless of how the mimics look, I thought the art for it was excellent. Writing was pretty great. I was just enthralled. I really like Volume 1, so I'm excited to see. You said go in blind in Volume 2 because it's a lot different from the movie, and that's what I'm going to do.
Hell yeah.
All right. There are a
Alright.
couple things I want to mention. I'm not really going to talk about them. I'll make it quick for you.
Yeah.
The details I know from the book, there are things I don't like. We find out more information about the mimics, what they are, and their purpose here and I wish I never learned it.
Really?
Yep.
It's
In volume 2?
Nope. It's in the novel.
Oh lord.
That makes me want to read the novel. I have an assumption on why they're there, but
Message me, and I can tell you. But I don't want to keep Joey here.
yeah, get home
Yeah.
safe. Ping
Yeah,
us when
absolutely.
you're
Alright.
safe, Joey.
Yeah, for sure,
Ping
for sure.
us
All
when
right,
you're
take
safe.
care, guys. Thank you again for the conversation. It was great talking to y'all, even if it was just for a little bit, about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, if you end up
Yeah,
reading the end of volume 2, hit me up at the comic shop, dude.
for sure.
Awesome.
I'll be sure to hit you up at the comic shop and even talk about it in general chat after this is all done.
Nice.
Yep, for sure. All right, bye, guys. It was nice talking to y'all. Thank you
Bye.
again for the recommendation.
Yeah, thanks
'Cause
for reading.
Yeah, I've been waiting on the manga. Like I've been putting it off for so long. Even though I
Yeah.
watched Edge of Tomorrow, like I said, like twice before. So yeah, it was a good wake up call, and I did enjoy reading it. So
Nice.
take care. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
All right, so I fucking hate the ending.
It is a little. It comes out of nowhere, which I do appreciate,
I
but I don't like what it is.
I loved the twist. I
I
hate.
expected the twist from the moment that he flashes back to.
Okay, see, I didn't. And I hated that Rita was like, well, you have to be the one now, Neo. I was like, no. No, she should learn something from him. He should sacrifice himself for the greater good. Like, it was so infuriating for me to have gone all of this time with all of these awesome characters and they learned nothing. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the whole point of the entire thing. But-
I think that might be part of the point. So,
No, say yours, and then I can divulge.
well, so first off, I want to point out, me and Usagi had theories at the beginning of the book.
Oh yeah.
Like from the end of the first chapter, we both had theories. Usagi was expecting a prestige.
Yeah.
What?
I was expecting that they were swapping who was in control of the loop.
So The Prestige is a
I
movie.
expected that swap to keep happening.
The Prestige is a movie where there is a Houdini-like character who seems to be escaping these death traps, and it's impossible. It's literally impossible. Nobody else can do it. And at the end of the movie, it's revealed that he's cloning himself. Sorry for spoilers for The Prestige, but he's been
That's
cloning
fine.
himself.
I hadn't seen it and had no idea what it actually meant.
Cool. So the idea was that he'd been cloning himself the entire time and been murdering himself, but he couldn't remember because the clone didn't die. And so it was, I won't lie, it's
Yeah, it ended up being a mix of our theories.
yeah.
But so my theory towards the end, because the moment she said, "Yeah, you will," I went, "Okay, she knows she's going to die during this battle." So she tells him that the situation is, as long as she's alive, his day can't end. As long as he's alive, her day can't end. I think she's lying in that moment.
Elaborate.
I think she knows there's no possibility of her day ending.
Correct.
So she's forcing him into a life or death situation to force his hands to kill her. So one, she can die, and two, she can know for certain that he's strong enough to carry the torch.
All right.
The system would make it impossible.
Because
100%.
if he died, if Rita killed him, there would still be the server and Rita left 2 antennas, and that would restart the loop from his death.
Yep.
Right. Oh my god.
Her throwing out the "it's you or me" is not a one of us gets to walk away from this. It's we are going to keep doing this until
you win.
Yeah. You
and she's making sure that he is strong enough to do so.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
otherwise, she could just take herself out of the equation. In theory, if she knows she's not going to survive, but making sure he does it in an actual fight is making sure he's strong enough to do so.
I can see that. I can see that.
Also, she said early on that she made a rule that she would only allow each battle to have 2 loops. To her knowledge, this is the second loop she has knowledge of happening of this battle.
Oh
So
no.
she is also fulfilling that. She says if you can anyone you can save during the second loop gets to survive. The first loop is a throwaway to know who you can save. And after
Yep.
that, any other losses are acceptable.
Yep. It's kind of sad.
I did appreciate that KG did learn from her to be like, he was like, no, I'm gonna try and save as many people as possible. I did appreciate that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that he is trying to carry on her method of, hey, I'll stay with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, he picked up, and I guess that's one thing I could say about KG. As much of a shitty person as he is, he, and I don't think he's a good person. I agree, that he's just got main character syndrome real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. And I think that doesn't make him a good person. But I appreciated that he took all of her cynicism and was like, no, we could do better. We could save more people.
Yeah, so the assumption that I get from how the story ends
Mhm.
is that this is going to happen a number of more times in the war before the war ends. Because
Right.
anytime someone beats him to killing the server, it guarantees that he will have to die. And then the same will happen to the next, the same will happen to the next. But it took Rita something like 230 loops to beat her first battle. It took him 160
Right.
with her help. So I'm assuming each time one of those loops happens, it is going to be
OBS completely just shut down, which
no.
Are we still live?
we just got back. We just got back. It was down
Hey.
for like a 0.5 seconds, but it was jittery the whole
Okay.
time otherwise. So I was like, I wonder what's going on with OBS. And it was entirely OBS being bullshit. Ugh. So yeah, KG's a bitch. But you know, he's fine, I guess.
The other thing that feels weird to me is, so the United States knows about the loops.
Why haven't they told anybody?
Yeah, it is.
So my assumption is they haven't told anybody because they know if someone tries to go vigilante and end it, they're going to lose their best soldier.
Oh, that would make sense.
But if they can detect tachyons, if they can detect it, why haven't they looked into some kind of, why aren't they developing some kind of disturbance technology
Yeah.
for it?
Right. Right.
And if they are, now is the time to, because they've established stuff that's made in Japan is the only thing that can survive mimics.
Right, and they're now all of their special ops are in Japan. So,
Also, another thing, it feels weird, right, that the the mechanic is able to use a 3D mill to, according to his schedule, in a half hour, create a mimic killing melee weapon.
So I don't know
Yeah.
enough about tech to like fully comprehend that. And I was like, okay, a half
She also
hour.
says she has enough steel laying around, so it's made of steel. So
How-
the only thing I can assume is it's just such a heavy axe that it cleaves through.
I-
How they are saying they're able to move as fast and well as they do is they're not swinging the axe more as the axe is swinging them around.
Yeah,
And they're just-
absolutely it is.
Which is so
They're-
silly to think about.
They have turned off the balancing system in their jacket, and they're using the jacket's servos and such specifically just to redirect where the axe is, so the axe carries them onward through the fight.
If you've ever played one of those fighting games, and it's not one of the 2D ones, this is has to be a 3D fighting melee where you are just doing the same combo over and over again, and you're just flying around the battlefield really fast. They're doing that.
I
They're
think.
they're quapping.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So I'm glad you brought up video games because this actually specifically reminded me of Risk of Rain. Specifically, like we all play Risk of Rain 2 together sometimes. Just the
Yeah, I always play the melee punching one.
Right, and I play the Ranger because I don't want to get near that shit. But it specifically reminded me of how, like, watching Keiji get frustrated. Maybe this is why I didn't pick up on the main character syndrome right away until we started talking about it. But watching Keiji get frustrated and go through all these motions, it felt exactly like how I feel when I play Risk of Rain. Of like, God fucking damn it, we can do it again! Fucking god shit, die, motherfucker! Like, it was the same vibes.
He does treat it like a roguelike.
He does.
He 100% does. He's just like, he's like, all right, cool, I can win this. Like on loop 5, he's like, I can win this. I just need enough loops. Like,
Even though he'd only been in 2 battles.
yeah, he'd only been in 2 battles, and both times just utterly. I think
Wrecked.
actually, so in his first loop, we don't know how many times the battle loops before that. In his first loop, was when he got a single kill, and that was against the server.
Lucky.
Entirely a lucky shot. Entirely a lucky shot. He, well mortally wounded, just went, if I'm going out, I might as well take one with me.
So, question.
And
Yep.
also, something I just remembered, I'm pretty sure he kill steals that one from Rita.
He does!
Yes,
He does, because she's about to take it out, and he charges up and kills it, restarting the battle.
Oh, I lost my question. I should have written it down. Oh, man.
Oh, sorry.
Not
No.
only that, but he also just manages to get the same 1 in a million quirk on the Tachyon bullshit right there. 'Cause
I'm
it is-
assuming that is specifically what happens if the server is I think that's just what happens if someone kills the server in a specific way, like being that close to it when they kill it.
It's just
Because most people are killing them with the 20 mils. He used the spear gun, and Rita, when she killed it, was point blanking them with the 20 mil, whereas everyone else does it from a distance.
that seemed to be the implication. Rita was like, "Oh, you killed it. You're stuck in the same, like, cursed state as I am, I guess."
Yeah, and that's why she asks the question of everyone. She passes even people that are dying. She asks, a specific question. So if they answer her question in a certain way, she knows that they've been looping as well, because she's constantly seeing if anyone else is able to loop.
Right. Oh god, the coffee
And
scene.
that was also the weird thing, is that she was quoting a book that is the same book that he was reading the night before. The two of them were both reading the same book,
The same book. Yeah.
which makes me feel like there is some other layer to the looping as well beyond that.
Could it be fate? Just kidding. I don't give a shit.
I feel like there's some other mechanism to how the looping messages work, in that potentially it's even down to that, like, you know, people with some similar mentality or something are the ones that are affected by it. So because they're both drawn to that book, it means that there's some other comparison to them in the universe.
That could be.
So I went and found the page just now of when she kills the one with the antenna.
Mm-hmm.
It is not really implied here that it's point blank. It's that she is running and then, hey, look, is that a mimic? It has an antenna, and then shoots it.
Interesting.
That's it.
Because it felt to me like she was closer, but... Then maybe it is their brain chemistry?
And I have to go find where in here it mentions the whole thing about, like, she just manages to get into it, and then the more she goes with it, it, like, adapts part of her brain, and therefore that is how she is able to become the antenna when KG also gets in the loop.
Right.
Hence why when she lost the loop to KG, she became an antenna and therefore had to die.
Mm.
So it's another one of those, if I think about it, I'm going to start to dislike it.
So, oh, that brings me back to my question. So,
Yes.
would you say that this artist and writer, did they make a believable sci-fi reality? Eh?
Oh,
And
also,
this is-
another thing about how weird it is, how quickly he's progressing, because I just found the page as well. She had 6 months of active combat before she killed the server.
Yep.
She was already one of the top guns in a veteran elite squad, and then it still took her 220 loops.
And that's why I hate that she was like, KG, you have to take over now.
Well, yes,
Well, that was literally what had to happen.
yes, but she understands that, because the first loop where they're both in battle together and she knows that he has been looping, she is so excited, she's so happy, she goes through everything. They go through everything pretty much flawlessly, and then the plan doesn't work. The next time she hears about it, when he says our plan didn't work for that is where she snaps into, I know what happened. And she knows immediately from that moment that she's going to die.
I still don't like it.
I don't either.
I still think it's bullshit and it's fridging her, but you know. For those of you who have not read comics before, fridging is a term that refers to when you take a love interest, mainly female character, and you kill them for no goddamn reason other than to give the main character motivation.
Main character has shit motivation.
Main character's bullshit. I fucking love this book. Don't get me wrong. Main character's bullshit. Please, if you haven't read All You Need Is Kill, go to your local bookstore right now. Buy this book. Holy fuck, it was so fun. It was so good. Hate KG. Rita Supremacy. But yeah, Saratamon, would you say that the author had kind of made a believable sci-fi reality?
Um,
Especially because you've been playing Star Citizen so much.
well, more than that, I've played EDF a lot too. EDF is the bigger thing for this. I think for
Hi, Eclipses! Thank you for the bits.
so the thing that I don't understand with this is I think the last two chapters are kind of what kills the realism of it. Not because of their whole swapping thing, but because it hard establishes how durable Japanese tech is by the fact that they're able to make bulletproof glass that will stop javelin rounds.
Or at least withstand it a bit better.
Well, yes, but that's the thing is it is almost it's the javelin rounds go through it, but they're stopping well enough that Rita tells her mechanic to hide in there, the area that is actively being shelled, because it is safer than not being in there.
Yeah.
It is that
Yeah.
durable. They establish that the jackets are made of Japanese alloy because it's the only thing strong enough to survive rounds. Every single time we see one of those rounds hit someone, it's a kill shot.
Yeah.
There's no point where the armor saves anyone at any time.
I think there is a fact that I do not wish to divulge that is more of a once you figure it out, it all makes sense. That I think the movie explains, or at least demonstrates a bit better. You are making a good point, and that is all I want to say about it. I will happily give that piece of information when we're done with the movie.
I mean, I'm assuming it's something like, oh, because the mimics have looped enough, they know where to aim or something. But
no, but I
cool.
also don't want to say it. It makes a lot of sense. I don't want to say it now, though.
The other thing with it, though, is the fact that we see spider tanks. We see that the U.S. has spider tanks in the first battle that Rita is in.
Right.
Hold on, I gotta.
Where the fuck are those?
If they can make windows that will stop rounds, sure, the rounds still penetrate by a foot. That would kill any soldier in a jacket. Where's the tanks?
Where's the goddamn tanks?
I'm looking for this. I'm looking. Where are these spider tanks? Is it the battle?
It's not during her first battle. It's the battle that she is saved in, I think.
Is it the whole 6 months after she entered the United Defense Force? Because that's where I'm seeing one.
Oh, is there one there too? Okay, cool.
Yep. We see one like standing and shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess for the exact same reason of the I will reveal this later is the reason we don't see the tanks either.
Okay, because that is something that makes it really odd. It's like it's made clear that humanity is horrifically losing.
Right.
Like all the production facilities are going down. The only production facilities that can be relied on are Japan. Really, at this point, or at least the only production facilities that can make materials that could withstand mimics are those in Japan. Now Japan is being attacked. There's no reason that they would keep sending people in jackets when to this point only a single person in a jacket has proved effective.
I'm grinning over here. You're so close to the point. You're so close.
It's frustrating because like I can feel where we're missing information. Where the
I feel like there's got to be some kind of thing about like those in charge actually being on the side of the mimics.
That would be hilarious.
I mean,
But,
it just being like, oh, there's another reason for them being called mimics.
No. It's not that.
I know it's
Damn.
not, but it would be funny.
That would be hilarious. And also kind of stupid if like a dude just like, okay, but I have a secret, unzips, is actually a giant floating orb with spikes.
Oh God!
Gotcha, bitch!
It's just like Dungeons and Dragons always said it would be.
Imagine it's like, oh, we're rolling into initiative against a mimic, but it's one of these.
Grant,
Oh no!
Grant, don't you dare! Grant, don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I'm
No.
gonna do it.
All right. Well, when your players absolutely go batshit on you, let me know. Let me know how that goes and which player you end up choosing to loop.
I do want to go back to something that you both said. What is this? We're talking about swapping? What's swapping?
Oh, like they're.
So-
Well, Stratamon
early
says
on-
it better.
Early on, like immediately off the bat, when I saw the question she asked, and then saw that he was reading that book, I assumed that the two of them were actually swapping loops. My assumption was that she had a loop that started earlier, and anytime she died, it would reset to her version of the loop. But because she was so strong at this point, it was his loops only within that day, because she was going to be surviving until she died, and he was the one dying first. And then that at some point she would die, and they would swap roles, basically. And then that it was just a constant cycle of repeating the overall loop, where one of them would be the inspiration to the other, back and forth. That was my initial assumption for the story.
And you know how it works now?
Hmm?
And you know how it works now instead?
It was that he did a bunch of loops and then she did two.
No, it loops for whoever it is that kills the server.
Kinda. The only person that is... Because as soon as Keiji starts looping, Rita stops.
Yes, no, I knew that. It passed on because she wasn't the one that killed the server. And now all she is an antenna.
Okay, I totally missed that.
Yeah, it's which is another thing that it's a little odd that I guess it's mostly impressive on Rita's end that she's able to keep up. That the new battles she gets into, she's not looping for. She's having to go off of her previous skill. The only person here that is getting new information is
Keiji.
either the mimics and then Keiji.
Okay.
There's another thing I want to point out on that. There is no point where it says she has ever died before.
Yeah.
Her wording in it is
Oh.
every time she kills a server, the loop restarts. She has never been killed by a mimic. She's won every battle she's been in.
Jesus Christ.
The only way the loop restarts for her is if she kills them in the wrong order.
Oh, God.
Which is wild.
Also means she learns to use the axe like that without being killed by it.
See, okay, again, Rita
Whereas he
supremacy.
Whereas he learns trial and error.
Rita
Killing
supremacy.
him by snapping himself in half multiple times.
Good God.
Another thing that I also don't want to think about too much, because if you get too into it, it's like...
Here's the other thing. She had the mindset of... Like, she painted herself red to stand out so everything would target her initially. She did that not knowing that if she died, it would restart. She did that solely because she thought, I'm strong enough that I can survive if they go for me, and I'll draw fire away from other people. She still had the assumption that if she got hit, she would die.
So, all of this being said, if I were to ever get a tattoo for this, it would be red. I would get the jackets, but it would be red. Rita supremacy. Fuck KG. He's the worst.
Red jacket, blue eyes, because she likes seeing blue.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll do it. If I ever randomly come into money, you'll know because I'll just be like, hey, let's go get matching tattoos because of book club that one time. Oh, man.
Ooh, there is an all you need is kill subreddit.
Oh,
In here.
Grant's going down a rabbit hole. Well, before Grant goes too deep down the rabbit hole, I do want to ask for everybody's closing remarks. What, like, ultimately, scale of, so -10 being so bad that it's good, 10 being that it's just amazing, 0 being it is the most mid bullshit you've ever, like, it's just awful. Where would you rank All You Need Is Kill, especially after our conversation? Would you recommend it to somebody?
I would absolutely recommend it to people. Yeah.
Okay.
I would recommend it, but it's definitely gone down slightly the more I've thought about it. Oh, it is closer to a 4 now
Okay.
than that higher 4.5, 4 3/4.
The more that we talk about it, the more you're like, hey, wait, this time travel logic is kind of bullshit. Which, same, but with Back to the Future, every single time. I fucking love those movies. Can't watch them anymore. Can't watch them anymore.
Wait a minute.
What? Uh-oh, Grant found something on the subreddit that's...
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh. Are you gonna share with the class?
Hang on.
Uh-oh. To what? I'll hang on to Saratamon. He's right here.
Hello.
The way the avatars are lined up, you're like just beneath me on the monitor. Saratamon, what were your final thoughts? Do you have any final remarks?
I kind of just wish there was more to it, but once we watch the movie, I think that's gonna help a bit.
I'm upset that we have to watch a movie to get all of the details. I'm a little upset about that, but
Another thing, I might look into it if there's a good comic adaptation of Gantz, because this reminded me a lot of Gantz.
Oh, y'all.
Hmm?
I have it wrong.
oh,
Yeah?
do
The
tell.
loop does not reset when KG dies. The loop only resets when the server dies.
Because she is still alive.
Uh-huh. Which means every single of the 150 plus resets for KG is not because he died.
It's
It is
because she
because-
survived to kill the server.
Every single time, no matter what KG did to influence it, our MV fucking P Rita
Oh my
still
god.
folds the motherfucker. I and the only reason it is made to seem that it's because of his death is because he only gets his own memories received when the signal goes out. He has no idea the day keeps fucking going. So that would mean
Man,
Huh?
day 3 or day 4 must have taken a long time.
Yep, so she probably just heard, oh wow, someone killed themselves, what a bitch, and just
Yeah.
goes and breaks the server anyway. So, for her, yeah, it is only, this battle is 2 loops. Because it loops the one time, and she kills the server, and then gets into the one where KG is now in the loop and she is an antenna. Oh my.
The time travel logic is broken, Grant.
I mean, the movie still works, and in fact, this actually raises it back up for me. Because that just puts Rita on a whole fucking different other level.
I mean, she already was, but, like, I hear what you're saying. Clearly, Rita was the best character in the book. For me, personally.
Rita had the "my dad died because of these aliens" backstory, and then just decided, I'm built different.
She is built
Yeah,
different.
she really did. Early on, she's like, I don't need to join the war. I like being in this bumpkin town.
I have shit grades. The only thing I'm good at is horseshoes.
Yeah.
Ultimate, like, I'm just a little dumbass and I fucking love it. Gone to, let's get this fucking war. Like, for real. She just went 0 to 100 and did a billion push-ups and roundhouse kicked motherfuckers until nobody would train with her anymore. And then just started murking mimics. Like, what? Goddamn, I love Rita. She's so cool. No one is surprised. This is very on brand. Grant, did you have any final closing remarks? It seems like the subreddit has raised the bar for you.
It has and it hasn't. For anybody who wants to jump into this, enjoy the ride, then don't think about it too much.
Yeah, I think we've dismantled the fun of it. But I agree. I think it's a very, very fun book. I would recommend it for maybe, like, if you're a sci-fi fan and you've never read manga before, I would recommend this. If you're a manga fan and you've not read sci-fi before, I'd probably recommend this, because I feel like a lot of manga fans can get behind the just the visuals of it, the pure artistry of it, which is absolutely gorgeous, except for Keiji looks like light fucking
Yagami?
yeah, light Yagami. My brain said Jurgen Leitner, and I was like, that's the wrong media, bud. Wrong way.
I have a question I want to throw out.
Okay.
What would you throw a character voice, like when you were reading for Rita and Keiji, whose voices like come to mind?
That's a good question. So I don't know the person's name, their actual. I know you know Ado, the singer.
No.
Japanese artist, really great alto voice. I'll have to send you some music of hers. For Rita, I heard a very strong, like, firm alto voice, something that you wouldn't expect to come out of, like, somebody that was, like, kind of cute and girly. Something that was a little bit more, like, commanding, I guess. It wasn't like this. That's it wasn't that high pitched, like, I'm an anime girl. It was very much like, hello, my name's Rita. Fuck shit up.
What it ended up being for me is as soon as it clicked the Eren Yeager thing, he started sounding like Eren to me.
See, I've never watched Attack on Titan.
What the fuck? No, we're not opening that. We're not. We're watching that, but
I don't want to, and I'll talk to you about it after stream.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I've not seen enough of that to influence the voice He did
And
sound
then-
like a whiny bitch in my head, though, I won't lie.
Yeah. And then for Rita, Yoko from Gurren Lagann is by about halfway through the novel, that's what she sounded like to me.
Okay. Okay, I could see that.
I do a oh fuck. This is I just said this is the last thing, but my promise, actual cross my heart, actual last thing. You know how I just threw out that it's not Keiji's death,
It's
It
the
is-
server's death.
which means, and although she doesn't remember it, Rita has had to watch or put down Keiji almost every time.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm assuming she's asked him that question in almost every loop.
I don't think so, because we do have his memory. He
Oh,
has
right.
everything
Yeah.
all the way
yeah,
up
yeah,
until
never
the
mind,
moment he's
never mind.
dead.
Yeah, no, you're right.
There's specifically, and I don't know why this never clicked for me before, a moment where he loses consciousness instead of dying. And that would be a time where Rita got to the server before he died.
Oh,
That's
it would
right!
be.
Because I thought that was weird. I was like, did he lose consciousness and then get murked? What happened?
And it said, and he specifically says that it happens multiple times until one loop when it doesn't. I'm assuming that's just because he keeps getting faster.
I can also buy slightly that this battle is going better because when it was just Rita and she was getting better, there was no one else god tier on that battlefield. Keiji's fighting and he ain't the main character.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that this book has a protagonist that is unlikable and also not the protagonist. It is just a protagonist for this story. Meanwhile, the war effort is happening and the protagonist is our main girl, Rita.
Full metal bitch.
Fucking love her.
Okay, now those are my closing statements. Go read it.
Uh,
Don't think about it too much afterward.
Saratamon, what voices did you hear for the characters, if any? Or would you
I don't know,
pick?
I don't usually think of that when I'm thinking of characters
Okay.
when I read. Um. Yeah, it's not a way that I think of characters when I'm reading.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this Comic Club meeting to a close. Thank you guys so much for joining in on Twitch. And thank you to Saratamon and Joey Fan and Grant Might Be Me for being on the voice chat today. If you would like to join Comic Club, in February, we are reading Fruits Basket Volume 1. Grant, you're going to read it, right? Grant, it's one of my favorite stories. I'm so excited
read it.
I'm so excited for you to read this.
I'm gonna read it.
It's gonna be so cute.
Have
Okay.
you watched it before, Grant?
No.
Oh, your opinion is going to be very highly anticipated by me. Do feel free to read more than volume 1, because I can talk about Fruits Basket for days.
Woo!
But
Now, how does Usagi feel about the cow? No,
baby. Anyways, thank you guys again so much. Please, if you are not already a member, be sure to join the Discord to get all the latest on Comic Club and Twitch stream stuff. Make sure to drink some water, eat something, take your meds if you have to, get some good rest tonight, and I'll see you guys on the next one, which I think is Grounded tomorrow, right?
there is Grounded tomorrow.
Oh, we're doing Grounded tomorrow, so I'll see you guys on Saratomon's channel.